Hello, hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Chelsea J Experience. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to subscribe, leave a comment below. It helps me with the algorithm so that more people who need to see this content and career advice can see it. And again, if you want to donate to my efforts and my mission, please leave a donation using the link below. All right, so let's get into today's question. Oh, this is a good one. I could talk about this for hours. It's all about interview mistakes. All right, this is from Jeff H. And he says, "Hi, Chelsea. You said you used to be a hiring manager. Can you talk about some of the most common interview mistakes you've seen candidates make?" Oh, man. This is a loaded question because I have seen so many, and I will try not to go on and on about this, but let's see. I think I will talk about the top 5 interview mistakes that I've seen, and maybe even more. We'll see. All right. I would say number 1 interview mistake is arriving late. That's a big no-no. In today's world, you have GPS, you have calendar notifications, you have alarms. I'm not really sure why you're showing up to an interview late. Now, I will say, whenever I was in hiring roles, I understand getting lost, maybe having trouble with parking, being in a new city, not knowing where you are. I get that. And I'm even okay with 5 minutes being late, but when you're late, it just shows me that your time management may be off. And also, I find it disrespectful. And maybe I'm old school by saying that, but I just think it's not considerate to show up somewhere late whenever we have a scheduled appointment. And if you're going to be late, please call, let someone know. I think that's a sign of respect. Let someone know where you are. I understand life happens. You get caught by a train, you get stuck in traffic, you get lost. Maybe you went down the wrong street. I get that happens, but communication is key here. So if you're going to be late, make sure to call and say, "Hey, I'm 5 minutes out, I'm 10 minutes out." Of course, apologize and let them know what happened, right? So being late is number 1. Number 2, and this one is a pet peeve, and it happened very often, and just not showing up. And it's interesting because I've talked to several recruiters lately and other hiring managers, and they are struggling with people not showing up. And I've even struggled with that. Just me revamping my podcast, people signing up to be guests, and then I get ready, I set everything up, and then they just don't show up. That's another thing that I just think is so careless and so disrespectful and unnecessary. If you decide that you no longer want the role or you're not interested, at least call and let someone know because you're disrespecting people's time. But it happens more often than you think. So being late and no show, both of those are, gosh, like in my top pet peeves. And very often, I saw those a lot when I was hiring. Number 3, I would say coming in looking disheveled. And you're probably like, wow, do people really do that? Yes, yes, they do. I've seen so many people come in just looking a hot mess. I'm not sure what happened. And trust me, people laugh, people talk about it. I've even, had people look over at me and say, did they take a shower this morning? Did they just get out of bed? What's happening? And the way that you dress is a direct representation of who you are and your standards. And again, it's a respect thing. Please get yourself together. I'm not saying that you have to come in a suit and tie or a ball gown, but at least look somewhat put together. Let's see, the next common interview mistake that I've seen. Oh, this is another one. I guess I have a lot of pet peeves when it comes to this. Another one is not knowing anything about the job. And that's the problem with rage applying. And that's something that has happened a lot lately. And if you don't know what rage applying is, it is basically when people get fed up with their current roles and they just go online and they just start rapid applying, like apply, apply, apply here, there, everywhere, and not really reading the position descriptions, not really looking at the qualifications or what the job entails. They're just applying to get out and get an interview. And it is so apparent when you do that. I used to ask professionals, hey, why did you want this job? And what in the job description excited you? And some of them couldn't give me answers. And I'm like, oh, okay. You didn't read the job description, you just applied. Why are you here? You didn't even bother to read it before coming. So that's another mistake, and it just reflects poorly on you as a professional. And leading into that one, another one is not knowing anything about the company. I have asked professionals before, and it's actually one of the questions that I always ask. Hey, how'd you find out about this company and why are you interested in working here? It is important that you know why you want to work at a specific company. And you need to know something about the company and what they do and their mission and who they serve, and not to be super specific, but even some type of the programs that they have so you can get an idea of what they do. If you don't know what the company does, why bother showing up? You don't even know if you agree with their philosophy or the population that they're serving or their mission. So you need to know. Let's see. Another one I would say, see, now we're going over five. And that's okay because I have a lot. I have a lot. All right. So another one I would say, and this is for both men and women. Wearing too much cologne or perfume. I should not be able to smell you as soon as you walk through the door. And some perfumes and colognes are nice. Like, I don't mind you smelling good, but you also have to be mindful that people have allergies, people have sensitivities, and things that don't work well for them. And you don't know what you can set off in someone else. People could start sneezing, they could start getting hives because of a reaction to what you have on. So please, please tone it down whenever you're going to an interview. Some good old fashioned body wash should just do the trick with some deodorant. You don't need to douse it all on. All right, let's see. The next interview mistake that I see people make. I'm trying to think of my top ones because, like I said, there have been a lot. I would say coming in eating. I've had that, oddly enough. I've had loud smacking of gum, which is just annoying. Please don't do that. Again, it's kind of a respect thing. I've had people come in eating. Like, please wait until afterwards because now you have stuff flying out of your mouth and we can smell the food, and it is all too much. Another mistake that I've seen in interviews is people lying about their qualifications. Just don't lie. It will catch up with you. And finally, just people being unprepared for the interview. I mean, you don't have to practice for days and days on end, but you need to be able to answer the questions like, tell me about yourself. Why are you interested in this role? Tell me about a time that you did this, blank, whatever, in your specialty. There's just some questions that you need to be able to answer and be confident in. And when you are unprepared and there's a whole lot of, let me think, or just silence, it just shows that you didn't really take the process seriously. And you know what? Finally, let's see, what would be my last one? Not being prepared. We talked about that. You know what? Not being enthusiastic. I've had some people come into interviews and it literally seemed like someone forced them to come to an interview. Like someone told them, you need to get a job, so just go. I've had people come in just sad or just uninterested in the role, and that's huge. And again, a lot of these mistakes, they reflect poorly on you because the interview panel, they're there no matter what. Like they're getting paid no matter what. But what you have done is waste your time and their time. And if these are mistakes that you've made before, hey, I get it. We've all made mistakes, but the important part is that you learn and you grow from them. You do better and you don't repeat the same mistakes in the future. I think that ended up being 10. I lost count. Like I said, whenever I answer these questions, it's a lot off of my head because that's how I talk to friends and family, and that's how I want to talk to you guys too. So, thank you so much for the question. Thank you for tuning in. I wish you the best of luck on your next interview. Please don't make some of those mistakes. And I would love to hear about mistakes that you've seen others make or that you've made yourself. Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to chat with you. I want others to be able to learn from you as well because that's how we all grow, learning from each other. All right, remember, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe so you can be one of the first people to be notified when a new episode drops. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.